I know every week we say it's a very special episode.
Because it is. I mean,
yeah, well, but if everything's special, then nothing's special, right? Isn't that, okay. But I think we've really, I've outdone myself this time. We have a poem and a sandwich.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is that a metaphor?
I don't know what for, but okay, fine. So yes, I was very lucky to receive from a good friend this book, Eat the Poem, which is a collection of poems and recipes. So the idea is that there will be a recipe about a pear, and then there will be several pear recipes. It's got poets like Louise Glick, Billy Collins, Mark Strand.
Pot roast.
Mark Strand has a poem called Pot Roast. And then the next page is, you'll never guess what, an Italian beef stew.
Wow.
So I have chosen one of the poems, and we're going to read it, and then I made the recipe, and we're going to eat a sandwich.
Shirley, you can't be serious.
I am, and don't call me Shirley.
Yes,
all right, yeah,
I
figured. Okay, so here it is. This is called While Eating a Pear by Billy Collins. Here we go. After we had finished here, the world will continue its quiet turning, and the years will still transpire. But now without their numbers, and the days and months will pass without the names of Norse and Roman gods. Time will go by the way it did before history, pure and unnoticed. A mystery that arose between the sun and moon before there was a word for dawn or noon or midnight. Before there were names for the earth's unaccountable things, when fruit hung anonymously from scattered groves of trees, light on one smooth green side, shadow on the other. So Billy Collins, While Eating a Pear.
Wow, okay.
Some deep thoughts.
Yes, right. Deep thoughts while eating the pear. Well, he goes from the simplicity of the title to the world continuing its quiet turning. And then at the end, he brings in the pear. When fruit hung anonymously from scattered groves of trees, light on one smooth green side, shadow on the other. So I got a strong Garden of Eden reference there, maybe with the idea of...
before things were named.
Right, before things were named. This is prehistory.
Right.
And so
but we're going to go back to prehistory. Like, that's the future.
Yeah, so so he will go back to the Garden of Eden in a way.
I don't know if he will. I think we're not going to be here. I think it's like after humans are gone, as he's eating a pear, he begins to think about what the world is going to be like afterwards.
Yes. All right. See, now I read it as after we have finished here, like we're standing here eating a pear. Right. And then this will transpire, which I guess is still kind of the same general ending. I like the end there, though, how I don't think he actually says the word pear at all in the poem.
Except for the title.
Yeah, until the end. And then there's that, shadow on the other at the end.
Right.
That sense of darkness. What did you think as you read it?
Well, eating a pear is delicious if you can get the right pear at the right time. There's only like 1 hour when the pear is actually good, So.
Well, I mean, it depends on your taste.
Or lack thereof.
Okay. Touche. Touche. Right.
Just that it went from, I'm eating a pear to something so cosmic and not apocalyptic, really, because even though apparently humankind is gone, the planet keeps spinning and pears keep growing, and it's just like he has this revelation or this image while eating a pear.
Yeah.
Right. Like just
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just how a small thing can create such a big impression.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's crazy that he's just sitting there taking a bite, I'm assuming, and he goes from that to the entire cosmos and. It also, you said it was non-apocalyptic, I think you said?
Well, it's not like there's like a famine and there's like zombies and, like The Road or something like that. It seems to just be, he glosses over the death of all humans pretty quickly. Right. It's literally the first line.
Yeah,
right.
I just picture how, it's that idea that nature will recover no matter what, right? And we put our stamp on things, but eventually we might disappear and Mother Earth will continue.
Right. It will continue its quiet turning.
Yeah.
I mean, what a peaceful...
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's the Earth, but it's quiet turning. I just love that understatement.
Yeah.
If it's understatement.
And
And
also, or go ahead, I keep
No, go ahead.
interrupting you. Well, in the second stanza, the second to last line, before there was a word, if you look at that line break, there's a biblical reference
Right.
again, you
Right.
know, and then there was the word, and the word was
Right.
good, and all that stuff.
Right.
So it's almost like recreation. I guess in order for the earth to recover and recreate itself, we need to be gone.
Right.
Which there's something to be said for that.
Right.
You know, going back to the Matrix,
And
humanity
it doesn't
is a
care.
disease.
Right. Well, and Earth doesn't care. You know, I mean, its pears are going to keep growing, and that's
It's still going to be
Spinning.
spinning. We actually in class this past week we've been doing presentations from Fahrenheit 451, and there's an allusion to Schopenhauer in there and his idea of will, which everything is just kind of like blindly striving, like everything is trying for something. It doesn't necessarily have a purpose, but I kind of think of that here, where the Earth is just going to keep on going. It'll
Yeah.
keep doing its thing, and there's no necessarily right or wrong, good or evil to it. It just is.
Yeah, it just is with it because there's no words to label it.
Yeah,
right,
well,
or post words.
Yeah.
All right, so this poem is paired with a couple of recipes.
I see what you did with paired with.
Yeah, get it, get it.
Hey,
One
He'll
of
be here
them,
all week.
yeah, one of them is a pear and manchego grilled cheese. So the recipe calls for bread, manchego cheese, which I've never eaten, so I'm excited. A pear, 4 slices of prosciutto, 2 teaspoons of honey, and then you grill it, right? We used a panini press. We're going to put up some pictures of that in process in my office. So I'm going to get the sandwiches, and we'll be right back as you look at the pictures. All right, we are back, and I have the grilled manchego and pear sandwich. Mike, would you like to take half of the sandwich?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, well,
Of course, yeah, this looks delicious.
all right.
Now, I have to say, didn't necessarily believe John that he had a recipe. He kept claiming, I got this from recipe, I got it, with his mad scientist putting all this together, but this looks really good. All right, ready?
So I watch a lot of foods about cooking, and I know one of the rules is you don't take a big bite
Oh,
because then you
okay.
get stuck chewing, and people don't want to watch you chew.
Okay, so,
So-
we're gonna do tiny.
Here.
All right, all right. Are we gonna turn into a cooking show now? Mm-hmm. Okay, should I describe?
It's very melty. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very
I'd say-
sweet. The pears. I bought the pears like 5 days ago, so they're at perfect peak ripeness, and they're very sweet.
So here you have a perometer, right? Where
Uh-huh.
you can tell. Yeah, I like the salt of the prosciutto with the pear. That's really good. Dry.
And the
unassuming.
cheese like just completely liquefies. Mm-hmm. It's not stringy at all. It like it still has some form, but then once you bite into it, it completely liquefies.
Yeah. I've never had manchego, right? Is what you
Yeah,
say it.
and I think I was supposed to have twice as much manchego. So imagine this with twice as much cheese.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I didn't have
that would be-
arugula.
that
They
would be
didn't have
intense.
arugula when I went shopping, so I used spinach instead, baby spinach.
Yeah. Well, we'll forgive you just this once.
And the cheese and the pear completely just melt like together.
Yeah. That's like one substance in there. This is awesome.
How appetizing
Wow,
a
yeah.
substance. I love this substance.
We're all about word choice and diction on this show, right? I mean, come on. Well, this one's for Billy Collins.
Yeah.
I have to say.
As
thank
I'm eating
you.
this, I'm thinking about after we're gone and how this room will keep.
Really? I was thinking the same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, check out the book. Again, it's called Eat This Poem, a series of poems and recipes. Some really good poets. Jane Hirschfield's in here. Like I said, Louise Glick, Mark Strand, Billy Collins, Campbell McGrath. Who else do we have real fast? Maybe do a quick.
And what a cool idea. Whoever thought of this. I mean,
All right.
Great.
Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our webpage at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com and on Twitter at trojanpoetrydgn.